In this slide, I am going to discuss a few assessments that we as teachers have the ability to use and probably will be given reference to and make sure that we are up to where we need to be on a certain state assessment. The first one I'm going to start out with is MAPS, or MAP, which is basically the measurement of academic progress. These are just maps that you can give 3-4 times a year. They range in different ones. You know, there's like the math maps and social studies maps and everything like that. It's just a really good way of knowing where your students could be at a certain time of year and maybe where they need some more input to maybe get them online for the big one at the end, which is the state assessment, which everybody puts a lot of weight on the state assessment. But these are just easy, quick. I do know they do cost a little bit of money to be able to get into to use, but it's just an easy way to know where your students are at and if you're on the right track to make sure that you're heading the right way. And if you do need to change directions or course, or make sure that you're going to be following the correct format, this may be a really easy way of checking to see where you're at. The next one that I'm going to talk about is formative, and basically formative and summative, they go right together. Formative basically is just a monitoring the students' learning. It's an ongoing thing, ongoing feedback, day to day, little by little, making sure that you're helping target weaknesses in students in the areas, so you can do more work, and just make sure that you're not having students falling behind, falling through the cracks, them kind of things. Summative, obviously that is just end of the unit tests, final projects, a big paper, them kind of things. This is just a big wrap up at the end of the year, or end of the unit even, just to make sure if they have all of the attributes that you're looking for at that point in time. Formative is one of them things that just basically goes day to day. You're not really, you may not even be writing down exactly where they're at, or maybe you will document, if you're having trouble with one student or several students, or maybe you'll find out that, oh wow, you just completely missed the boat. At least you found that quick and easy with the formative before waiting till the end to take a summative into the unit, and then find out that, wow, you completely missed the ball on that one, and the kids have no idea where they're at. So just an easy, quick way of understanding, and then summative obviously is just the end. The big one, the state assessment. And man, you talk about putting a lot of pressure on standardized testing and state assessments at the end of the year that teachers are scrutinized about and made sure that they're up to where they need to be. But I think it's funny that is it truly, if a school has high test scores, does that really mean that the school staff is very effective and they're doing the right thing, in comparison to a school that does poorly? Does that mean that the school staff is ineffective? I don't really think that's the case, because I don't think it's a good way to measure staff's ability and everything by using one basic assessment at the end. I think I think there needs to be more done throughout the year, little by little, rather than just throwing it right at the end and then, throwing your kids into certain testing environments that they're not normally put in front of. Maybe with the MAPS program, maybe that would help ease some of the tension and maybe have the students realize where they're at, what they'll be taking tests on and things like that. So, there's two different ways of looking at it. I think, with a standardized test, there's the aptitude side of things, and then there's the achievement side of things, which is basically two completely separate things, but then they also work back a little bit to each other. I think one of the common one is the Iowa test. That's one of the big ones I think that I used to take when I was in school. I'm not even sure what they're doing now, even in the elementary. Nice thing with being able to student teach, I'll be able to see some of that going on. So I think you have to make sure that you're doing a good job day to day, covering the information, making sure the students are understanding it, and not just a few students, making sure all students are understanding it. The MAPS is a good way to just check it 3-4 times a year, just to get a quick run through on things. Obviously the formative is just day to day, and summative is into the chapter to see where you're at. And then the big one at the end is that state assessment where all the pressure's at, all the money's riding on that big one, it seems like. And it seems like last year was kind of a big one where somebody hacked into the system of the state assessment, so they threw everything out for that year. I was in my internship, and you could see all the teachers in the elementary just give a big sigh of relief, like, "Ooh, we missed that one." We escaped another year. It's kind of like that. But so I'll have to wait till I'm there to see that kind of pressure and that kind of system, assessments being pressured that much. So not sure where I'm at on that, but these are just some really good ways to make sure that your students are heading down the right direction.